this is a survival game. Just an 2D isometric action RPG Diablo-like survival game, which is unique, even if it's a bit weird. I don't like the way that you don't really have too many slots for skills. I guess if you are a Diablo 2 fan, if you are one of those old people, that probably won't bother you and you'll be plenty happy because you don't need that many skills. But this doesn't really feel like an action RPG in that sense. You don't really have builds to make. You do have an inventory, you have items, you do have even set bonuses on your gear, but those are just very basic things for an action RPG. This is more like an actual survival game in terms of all of that items stuff. There's your inventory. You collect items from the ground. That's about it. I could not progress very far. Survival games tend to have this problem sometimes, which is it's really hard to build the economy, I guess I should call it. Building all of your resources, all of your own base. It takes time, and I guess in 4 hours I have a decent amount. I've progressed a bit of the tutorial, which I think I'm still in the tutorial. At first it was very guided, but right now it kind of just tells me, for example, as you can see on screen, discover a way to unlock iron smithing. I have no idea how to do that. I have to probably search with some other mechanics that are in the game that I'll talk about soon. What the fuck? Since that popped up now, this is an online game. You are always online, as far as I can tell. I'm currently in a dedicated server, actually in a private server. There are dedicated servers. I don't know how hard that is to use, but perhaps that would make it so you won't have connection issues if the official servers are having problems. So that's a nice thing they added. Yeah. Now, I really like the home-based stuff. There's so much you can do. As far as you can have servants and they can do things for you. That's a really neat feature for a survival game. Usually, like in DayZ or Rust, you would always have to have a person do the menial tasks of mining, cutting wood, whatever it is. And in this game, it seems that at some point you can keep progressing without having to continue to do those repeating tasks. And there's ways to with the servants continue to harvest wood and stone, rats and these kinds of more basic resources. You have ways to generate them inside your own base, which is very cool as well. And there's actually a lot of cool features, quality of life stuff. If you need to relocate your base, you can, whenever you feel like. You just have to pay, and then you obviously need to rebuild your base from the ground up, but it carries over everything you have, and it doesn't cost that much as far as I can tell, which is really nice. Let me see. Shit. Let me show that. You can do that. The castle heart. You can keep upgrading things. Yeah, I like that. It's a shame that I can't develop further. I feel like I'm still like at a quarter of the top of of what the game allows. And yeah, it's free until the end of the weekend. On Steam, free to play. The game usually costs 30 euros. It's at a slight discount at 25-ish. It usually costs 35 and that's a 25 discount. And it's really cool. I really like this idea. So basically you are a vampire and you can and there's a daylight cycle, and if you are in the sun, you take damage after a while. And so while usually in survival games you don't want to go out at night, like for example in Minecraft, because there's strong enemies, dangerous enemies. In this game you don't want to go out during the day because you'll get hit by the sun, and I can exemplify that like this. Oh wait, it just went to night. Damn it. I should have done that earlier. Anyway. And that's a really cool little flip. I think this game is actually quite good. Although it's not my cup of tea particularly. But for people who like survival games, for people who like Diablo 2 style, although you don't get to do builds, but it's a survival game with some of the limitations on that game. Yeah, I think it's pretty decent for the price. I don't know how much you might be limited at the end of the game. I can't test that, but for a first impression, I'm actually quite impressed. The progression is slow, but I'm not surprised for the type of game, and I think it's quite fun. There's better survival games, there's better RPGs, but this is both. And so that's quite interesting. There's probably also better vampire games, but this joins them all together in a pretty good package, I think. Actually, I think this is a good game. I think this is a good game.